guys, so I'm back with another Wednesday rant with Dalisa. You already know, jumping from different topics, subjects, all that. You people that watch my Wednesday rants, thank you for supporting, but you already know. But if you're new here, I'm not staying on one topic, one subject, all that. So I have a lot to talk about. But first things first, oh my gosh, you guys like my hair? Like, for the first time I have my hair down in a video. Yeah, this is all my natural hair too. No, I'm just playing. Use that onion water. No, I'm just playing. Let me stop. But oh my gosh, I have a lot to tell you guys about. So last week I went to Louisiana for the first time. I said that I would never go there because I don't know. Just I watch a lot of TV and I just kind of felt like, I don't know, something's gonna happen to me or someone's gonna make a doll like, dark magic voodoo, but no offense, but I actually like it down there. It's pretty nice. It's different. It's peaceful where I was, so I like it. Tried, different stuff. Not mainly fast food, but like home cooked food. That was real good. All I have to say is, Cali, get your flavors up. No, I'm just playing. Let me stop. But okay, so what's really weird, because most of the time I go to New York, but this time I went to Louisiana to see my Pooh Bear. But okay, so the plane ride was 3 hours. It's not 5 or 6, because that's how long it takes to get to New York by plane. But for some reason, this is so embarrassing. You guys will not know this if I didn't tell you, but I'm going to tell you guys. Okay, so normally when I fly or plan a trip, I stay up all night because that's just, I don't want to miss my flight. Even if I set like an alarm, I'm probably going to sleep through it, all of that. No. So all the time I just stay up. And I ate and everything too. So before I get into what I'm going to tell you guys, but I slept through most of it. Like, I was reading a book, I watched a movie, and, I kept sleeping on and off. But I would say maybe like 40 minutes into almost landing, I wake up. And I'm like, something's not right. Like, I don't know what's going on, why I'm feeling like a little weird. So I'm like, do I need to throw up? I may need to throw up. But then I'm like, I don't know. But then I feel like I need to pass out. And mind you, when I go on a plane, I'm not using no plane bathrooms, thanks to my sister Destiny, because she said plane bathrooms are nasty. So now I just, hold it until I land, because no, I'm not doing that. I know I shouldn't do that, but I don't know. Maybe I will, but as of right now, like, no. Well, now since that happened, I probably will. So I'm like, okay, maybe I should just go get up and maybe tell like a flight attendant or something. So I get up, and as I'm walking, I bump into someone by an accident. I didn't need to do that, but I'm like, I need to hurry up and get to the flight attendant. So the flight attendant was like, oh, the bathroom's going to be occupied because the pilot needs to use it, so you'd have to wait. And I'm like, no, like, I don't care about that. I feel like I'm either going to pass out or throw up, so I need help. But as I'm talking to her and telling her that, all I remember is I'm sitting in a seat. And they're just like, oh, I think she's having a seizure. I'm like, I've never had a seizure before, so I don't think I'm having a seizure, because, like, I don't know, just the way I was feeling, I'm like, I don't think I'm having a seizure. And luckily, there was a doctor on the plane, so they were just like, trying to check me out and make sure, like, my blood pressure and all of that was okay. But I don't know if it was like the altitude or because I didn't eat, which I did eat, but I think like before I got onto the plane, if I didn't eat, or what the issue was. But I don't know, I just passed out, and they had to like lay me on the floor, like, so I can be okay. As soon as I got back up to sit back in the seat, I felt better. And then they're just like, are you here by yourself? You look like, super young. And I'm like, no, like, I'm an adult. Yes, I am here by myself. Like, I just helped me feel better. And then the doctor whispers in my ear too, like, oh, are you pregnant or anything? I'm thinking in my head, like, girl, no. Forget them kids right now. Personally to me, like, I don't want no kids. I'm not worried about that. No, I'm not where I need to be. No. I don't even know why she asked. I'm like, no, I'm not. I don't know what's going on with me. And I'm like, I have asthma. Like, is my asthma acting up? Like, I don't know. But it was just so embarrassing because there's so many people like crowding me, making sure I'm okay. And I'm just like, just please help me feel better. And of course, like, I call my mommy and all that. And she's freaking out. Like, did it happen like here at home, or like, are you already out there? And I'm like, I'm already out here. Like, it didn't happen at home. It happened now. And they're just like, okay, well, we may have like an ambulance waiting for you. I'm like, absolutely not. I'm not trying to have no medical bills racked up, all that. No. I think I'll be fine. I'll be good. And like, my Pooh Bear's trying to tell me the same thing. Like, you're going to go, no, I'm not going to no hospital. Okay? No. I'm not. I think I'll be good. So I had to, of course, be the last one to get off the plane. But what I do appreciate is everyone was like, you know, so caring and like concerned and really helps me out. So I'm really thankful for that. And all I kept thinking in my head is like, God, please, like, am I dying or like what's going on? But it was really scary. And I did have to get wheelchair assistance. What's so funny is I got, you know, wheelchair assistance, right? And they took me where I needed to go. And I'm on the phone with my mom. And she's like, are you okay now? Like, what's going to go on? Like, you know, are you going to go? Do you need to go to the hospital? Like, what can I do? I hop up real quick out of that wheelchair. And people are looking at me like, I thought you needed what? I'm good. I get my bags and I go to the bathroom. Like, let me go, like, fix myself up. No, I'm good. Like, that looks so bad. I'm pretty sure it looks so bad. But I'm like, no, like, I don't need all this attention and all this crowding. Like, I'm okay. I've got it. But that was real scary, real embarrassing. And then when I came back home, it happened again, except for I passed out in my seat. I passed out in my seat this time and I didn't get up. And I think it's where I'm sitting, because don't get me wrong, like, I'm a little, I wouldn't say bougie. I don't know why everyone tries to say, like, Dalisa, you're bougie. I'm not, okay? It's just, like, I like to be, like, not necessarily, like, the first person off the plane, but, like, I like to be off the plane right away so I can make sure, like, my bag isn't stolen or it got left or whatever. So I sat kind of, like, not necessarily in the back of the middle of the plane, but, like, the front of the middle of the plane, if that makes sense. But, like, where the exit door is, you know, in case there's an emergency or something. I think sitting right there is, like, a bad idea because I don't think there's, like, no air circulating right there. So they're also saying, like, oh, like, it's really hot in that area and, like, we're trying to, like, cool you off because, like, you're really, like, overheated. And I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that again. And I thought I wouldn't, you know, it wouldn't happen when I had to go back home. It did, except for I passed out in my seat. And this time I didn't get up. And I'm just telling Mom, like, as soon as I get off this plane, like, I need to go. Like, I'm passing out again. I need help. And everyone's just like, I think next time, you know, maybe you should not sit in that seat. I know, like, you want to hurry up and get off right away, but it's not for you. Nope, it's not for me. Because I'm just, like, I've been flying so much, like, when I go to New York, so why did it happen this time? And I know it's, like, has nothing to do with the atmosphere, but I think it's, like, the altitude, like, where I was sitting. I don't know if I'm saying that right. But that was really scary. And then, like, going back home and passing out in my seat, too. I'm like, what in the world? But now I learned my lesson. So, and on top of that, I have bad anxiety, too. So, but if you know, have anxiety and you're like that or whatever, don't sit right there. Just, you know, and make sure you eat too. But I did. So I'm just like, but I didn't like eat like right when I got on the plane. And because on top of that, I'm not trying to use the bathroom. No, none of that. So I don't really eat like right before I go on the plane. Like I eat at home and then I'm ready to go. Like if that makes sense. But that was really something. That was like horrible. Anyways, on to the next. Oh, and another thing I need to tell you guys, which is so messy. See, this is why I tell you guys, like, teachers are real messy. Like, that's, like, one of the most top jobs environment. That's the most messiest, I'm telling you. I don't know if there's, like, other job positions that are like that, too. But as of right now, what I can see is teachers. So, before, you know, my vacation break, one of the teachers is talking about I'm using too many wipes or like has an issue with how I'm cleaning. First off, their classroom's dirty and nasty. So they have an issue with how I'm cleaning and like, oh, we get that stuff donated and I'm not paying for it. Mind you, when you're a teacher, you sometimes do have to pay out of pocket for stuff. You just do. That's what comes with the job. And then on top of that, with everything with the inflation and whatever the government or the president is trying to do with education, like stuff is really tight and tight budgeted. So I'm just like, and then the teacher was saying like, they want all the other aids and stuff like that. Like, once you get a wipe and you clean whatever was dirty, use that same wipe to clean another surface with. That's exactly how you get sick, and that's why everyone in that classroom is always getting sick. That's not my business, though, because guess what I did? Since we came back from spring break, I haven't helped them clean up. Not my problem, not my business, since you want to be messy and talking about me and can't confront me. I just thought that was real, like, you know, really childish, and I'm like, see, this is what I'm talking about. Teachers are really messy. Now, this is why I'm trying to do what I need to do for myself, so, you know, soon, eventually, over the years, I don't have to put up with this. I mean, I don't want to have to put up with none of that. I want to be my own boss and stuff like that, because this is the stuff that I'm talking about. I don't have time for it, no. But I just thought that was really funny. Don't you guys think that's, like, dirty, nasty? And then on top of that, you're being messy, because it's like, why can't you just tell me? You had to have another aide come and tell me. You couldn't tell me yourself at your grown age. But anyways, I have other stuff to talk about, but I just wanted to tell you guys that, because I'm like, yeah, like, I really, you know, and all of that happened too, like, literally the day that I was leaving too. And like, maybe that was what caused me, because I was stressing out about that. Like, I was panicking. I'm like, when, you know, we come back from spring break, I have to deal with this, and I'm gonna have to deal with that, like, because the teacher wants to sit up there and be messy, but I don't care. I'm not giving no names either, because you're not about to sue me, because I don't have nothing to give you. And even if I did, you still wouldn't get it. Anyways. Okay, anyways. So right now, I don't know if, like, a lot of people pay attention to this stuff, but, you know, I'm all into TikTok stuff and TikTok drama. But who is it? I think it's, like, Keys, and I forgot how to pronounce the other two girls' name. But I feel really bad for them, and this is the stuff that I'm talking about, and on to what I wanted to talk about anyways. But when you're close with people and you know, there's issues, or there's, you know, like, stuff that you guys need to talk about and kind of, like, fix, it's best to keep it off the internet and communicate together instead of putting it on the internet, because he's being real messy towards the other two girls, and I don't like that, and I feel so bad for them. And it's just like, this is stuff that I'm talking about. I don't know why our generation does this, and so many people do this, but when you fall out with people, or when there's an issue, you want to put little, like, subs and blast everything on the internet. What do you gain out of doing that? Like, okay, don't get me wrong. I think maybe in the past, I think I've probably done it, because I know for sure right now, no. But I could take accountability for that. Like, I think in the past, I've done that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have. You know, like, put little stuff on the internet, only because the other person is attacking me, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna defend myself. Now it's just like, if someone were to do that, I'm still not gonna post little subs, post little stuff. Like, that's really immature, and I can't stand when people do that, and then they want to scream out loud, I'm grown and I'm mature, but yet you're doing little stuff like that on the internet. What are you gaining out of that? Then on top of that, do you think someone wants to have a conversation with you after you're posting little subs and stuff like that? And don't get me wrong, the other two, they have every right to defend themselves, because it's like, you started it. What are you gaining out of that? That's messy, when you could just, especially if you have each other's number, all that, communicate. Don't throw little subs and stuff like that. I can't stand our generation doing that, especially screaming, I'm grown and this and that. No, you're not, because you got to post little subs and put little hints and stuff like that. Everyone else may not know, you know, what that person's talking about. But if you have an issue with each other, you know and understand. So it's kind of like, what are you doing that for? Like, why? Just tell me what it is. Tell that person what it is. You get what I'm saying? I don't like stuff like that. So, yeah, I can take accountability, because I'm pretty sure, yeah, I've done that in the past. Now, I'm just like, no. Something needs to be resolved, communicated, all that, you know, we'll have, you know, conversation. But I'm not going to be posting little, like, subs, hints, and this and that. No. I don't mess with that. And I know I need to work on stuff. I'm you know, okay, like, I'm growing, but I do have my moments of being immature, but in that area, I'm not immature with that. That's messy. How old are you? Anyways, on to the next. But, I just feel like people, I just saw something right now, and I've been seeing it for a while, too. But it's like, when you, how is it that this person said it? I think it was, when you are are trying to like get your life together and get stuff together in your life, you can't be mad at people for distancing themselves. No, you cannot. But there's a time and a place for everything, and there's a way that you do it, if that makes sense. Like, do you guys get what I'm saying? It's just kind of like if you sit up there and distance yourself from like everyone, or especially people, you know, that are always in your corner and, you know, that you're close with, and you're distancing from them. And then when you, I don't know, did whatever you needed to do, like you leveled up, you're okay now you want to come back. No, that's not how that works. I'm just talking about like, there's a way that you could do it. Does that make sense? Like, if you need to heal and stuff like that, or you're going through a lot where like you just genuinely cannot be around anyone, no, none of that, can't keep in contact with anyone, can't keep in touch because you really need to just focus on you and do what you need to do. That's a different story. That's totally fine. Like, go on and do what you need to do. That's understandable, and anyone should be understanding with that. Now, if someone has an issue with that, like, you're being selfish. Like, come on now. Like, that person needs time. They need to be on their own. They need to do what they need to do. But it's like, if you're trying to do it in a different way, like, you know, level up and trying to figure out what you want to do with yourself, and like trying to do better with finances, all that stuff like that, you don't necessarily, like, there's a way of how you can do what you can do for yourself, but then also keep in touch with the people that you're closest. You get what I'm saying? Like, keep in contact, like, I don't like stuff like that. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but it's kind of like, now you want to come back, now you want to come crawling back. Like, and I've seen so much stuff that's like on TikTok, and that's why I've been bringing it up, because I saw like a tweet about it. I'm like, what? No. Like, there's a way that you have to go. There's a way that you need to go about it, if that makes sense. But I don't like stuff like that. Like, for me, for example, like right now, I don't want to spoil too much because soon that will be another video. But I have some good things going on that's happening next month. But that doesn't mean I'm going to distance myself from everyone and anyone. You get what I'm saying? It's just that I know that I need to do what I need to do right now because of the stuff that's going to happen. But I'm also still, you know, going to make sure I keep in contact with everyone or do what I'm supposed to do, or not like fully distance myself, if you get what I'm saying. So it's like, if it's something that's like, not necessarily saying like major, but if it's something like slight, like what I'm talking about pertaining, you know, to, I don't know, whatever it is. If it's not, major, you don't necessarily have to like distance yourself with like that. You get what I'm saying? Because then it's like, then when you come back, you may possibly lose those people because like you want it to be like that. So I'm just saying. But I will, you know, tell you guys about that later next month. It's very exciting news. I'll tell you guys about it next month. But yeah, you guys will see. But anyways, on to the next, another thing that I wanted to talk about. I'm pretty sure, I mean, it's died down now, which I'm glad. But the whole situation with Daniela and Alabama. Okay, when it comes to, you know, me doing this, anything that has to do with like racism, people being racist, and people, you know, mocking, mimicking, or saying anything bad about Black people and about my race, I don't play. So I'm already fair warning everyone about that. I don't like that, because not to give away too much detail because I don't want to make myself mad, but living in Cali, especially Orange County area, you are around a lot of different things and different races and stuff, but the way that I had to grow up around, you know, certain stuff, you know, colorism, this and that, picking over favorites or over racism, this and that, and racism, I don't play about that. I don't like that. And then I went through a phase too where I'm like, well, maybe I need to bleach my skin, this and that. Like, no, absolutely no. I don't particularly care about that situation. I didn't. One thing I will say though is I did feel bad for Daniela, because it's like, I guess allegedly, I'm gonna say that she, because I don't for sure know, I don't want to be putting stuff out there like that, but she's sick, and then she's a first time mom, and then it's just like the person that she's with is like treating her badly, and then Alabama wanted to bring up stuff like that. I don't like that because, like, I'm a girl's girl, and that wasn't okay. So, of course, I'm going to be on her side about that. But anything else, their little issues and all that, I don't care. Because at the end of the day, they're both trying to be something that they never will be. I said what I said. I don't care. And then on top of that, I don't really see them advocating for anything either when it comes to the real issues that we have to deal with, if you catch my drift of what I'm saying. So I'm just like, at the end of the day, I don't really care because they're both trying to be something that they're not going to be. And then on top of that, like, I don't know, like, everyone was just trying to, like, tell me, like, oh, you know, like, what's her name? Even my mom, too. I'm like, girl, she made me real mad, okay? She made me real mad because I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you're black, too. Like, what are you doing? I don't care. But kind of like, oh, you know, you are, like, you adapt to where you grew up and what you're around and stuff like that, I guess. I feel like you know between right and wrong. Even though you're around that and you may have grown up around it, this and that, you know right from wrong. So it's just like going in one ear out the other. I don't want to hear none of that. I don't care. Because that's like, I don't know. Because people have always told me the same thing too. Like, oh, you know, you act so like whitewashed, this and that. No, I'm just very proper, and my education, you know, is, I don't know what type of education maybe those other people had. They're always saying that, but I had good education, so I know how to speak proper, and my grammar is good, this and that. And I wouldn't necessarily say it's code switching either, because no, it's just that, you know, sometimes I'm gonna talk very proper, and then sometimes I'm not, but not like too much, if you get what I'm saying, because I know how to talk proper. But at the end of the day, this is still my skin color. So it's just like, and then with Alabama, was never grown or raised around that. Everyone knows where she was raised. So it's just like, when people were telling me that too, I'm like, I don't want to hear it. I don't care. I literally do not care. Like, that stuff really bothers me. So when it comes to that, just know that, yeah, I'm going to have a lot to say about it, and I'm going to speak my mind because I don't play that. And then on top of that, what I also notice and kind of feel like is, like, when it comes to other cultures and races and stuff like that, they don't play that. They all stick together as one and a unit, and they'll cancel anyone, whoever, everyone that's playing with their race or whatever, trying to mimic and mock. But when it comes to black people, and I can say this because I'm black, but you guys, I don't know, sometimes are dumb, like really irritating me. You guys stick up and defend the people that are sitting up there mocking us, that want to do everything that we want to do and doing this and that, like, what? And then you have comments of like, oh, they're invited to the, stop with that. No, like, are you dumb? Because if they had something like that, do you think you were invited? No. Or do you think if we were still in the times back in the day, no. So it's just like, no, I don't like stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, like I said, I'm not racist or none of that, but I just don't play when it comes to that. So anytime there's an issue like that, just know I'm going to speak my mind and I'm going to say what I need to say, because no, I don't play that. I don't like that. No. Take that over there, somewhere else. Not over here with me, because even like you can literally ask anyone. Like, when I'm out and I hear someone saying the N-word, any of that, I'm like, uh-oh, did I hear that right? Did I hear that right? I think, huh? Because who are you talking to? Did you just say that? Oh, no. Then I'm looking like, well, you know, my people are standing right here. They didn't say it, because I know their voices. So it had to be you. As soon as I hear that, I'm quick to fire away. I'm going smooth off, because do not, no, like I said, I don't play that. I don't like that. No. So if you want to say any of that, you better go somewhere over there, because don't let me catch you saying it. That's all I have to say. But anyway, I'm, you know, trying to do better. Okay. God is working on me. But anyways, on to the next topic. I wanted to talk about like Christian content, stuff like that. I've been seeing that a lot on TikTok, where people are kind of just like, how do I say it? Basically making content that revolves around religion and everything, which I am all for it. That is totally fine. I like that. You know, I'm interested in that. But I think a lot of people are saying it's like, there's a lot of people like, oh, like Christian workout, you know, Christian picnic, Christian trip, or like Christian cooking. I'm Christian, so I'm not trying to be judgmental or anything or offend anyone. But a little, you know, sometimes when people do that, it's just a little too much. Because it's just like everything, you know, God knows you, you know God, and he knows your heart at the end of the day. But it's like, and then to put people down, like, oh, you need, see, this is why I said, like, any of that, I don't want to be, I'm a Christian at the end of the day, and I love the Lord, you know, Jesus, all that. But it's like, the worldly stuff of Christianity, don't attach me to that, because no. This is what I'm saying, and this is why sometimes, like, you know, I can see why people push away from religion and stuff, because it's like stuff like that. Or like, I also saw, and don't get me wrong, I did that. I did that one point in time. Now I'm kind of just like, yeah, now I see how silly that looks. But it's like, a lot of people too think everything and anything is demonic. Like, not anything and everything is demonic, especially if your actions are not aligning up with what you're talking about. And it's kind of like, no, it could be your actions. You get what I'm saying? Because not anything and everything is evil. If that makes sense. Like, yes, it could be, but it's just like, okay, just step to the side, step away from it. But don't put people down like, oh, you need to stop doing this and you need to stop doing that because that's evil, or oh, it could never be. That's like, no. And don't get me wrong, yeah, I was like that, and now that I see, I'm like, not everything and anything is evil. And then on top of that, if you know what you're supposed to be doing in your walk with getting closer with God, do what you're supposed to be doing. Don't put others down in the process of it. I don't know. I'm just getting so sick and tired of stuff like that. That's why I'm like sometimes just, getting on my nerves. That's another thing too. Like, I am a friendly type of person, if that makes sense. Like, I'm very talkative and stuff like that. Like, okay, if I'm around, you know, my people and there's other people, sometimes I'm like, I'm not talking if you're not talking to me. That's just how it is. I mean, you come up to me, then you're going to be like, oh, you know, I'm like, hey girl, you know, yeah, okay. But if you're not like, okay, like, I don't know, like, I'm just not going to say nothing. I'm going to stay to myself or stick to where, you know, I'm with, you know, whoever I'm with. But so many people, anyone and everyone, it's just, everything is just getting on my nerves. People are getting on my nerves. And then I'm just like, I don't want to turn into this person that's like, doesn't like people. You get what I'm saying? That's like, not a people person. I can't be around anyone, this and that. And I literally felt like that. Like, when I came back, I felt like, like I'm getting annoyed with anyone and everyone, and I can't be around anyone. I literally felt like I was turning into that. So I was like, the best thing that I could do right now is just go to God even more. Which, don't get me wrong, I do. But I was like, in this moment, I need to go to him even more. Because I was feeling like down and heavy. And just like, I don't want to be around people. I don't want anyone around me. I don't care about that. I don't care to be around people because I'm so sick and tired of people. But if you are ever feeling like that, the best thing that you could do is just take some time and get a peace of mind, if that makes sense. Regardless if you're religious or not, however you like to take your peace of mind, meditate, pray, read your Bible, just do that for yourself. Because you don't want to be this mean, nasty person where you don't want to be around people and then people can't be around you. Does that make sense? And I felt like I was. And I'm like, I had such a good time in Louisiana, but I'm like, now that I'm back home, I'm like, ew. Everyone and anyone is annoying me and getting on my nerves. And I don't like being around people. And then, especially with the stuff that happened at work. And I'm like, ew. Now I have to deal with them. And don't get me wrong, I love the kids that I work with. So I'm like, not them, just the adults. But I really had to take that time because I'm like, I'm turning into that. And I don't want to turn into that, if you get what I'm saying. So, no. Don't be like that. Just take the time that you need. And be who you are. But if you notice that, because I know there is some people out there that are like that too. They're just not a people person. That's totally fine. But maybe you can grow and take steps to be a people person. Or like balance it. Where like, you know, if you still want to, you know, not necessarily be a people person, but like it's easy to be around you. Like, you know, you're comforting. And like people can be comfortable around you, if that makes sense. But Another thing, on to the next that I want to talk about. So I'm pretty sure you guys know about this trend, like oh, I'm a type A person and I'm a type B person. I don't mean no blood, okay? I'm not talking about no blood, okay? Talking about the challenge or this trend that everyone's doing. And a lot of people in the comments, I'm telling you, TikTok, most of the time, I'm laughing at the video and the comments. I'm gonna be over there dying on my phone laughing. It'll be so funny. But when it comes to hygiene, yeah, sometimes I do, I'm kind of like, ugh, they need to go take a bath or something. I don't know, it stinks in here. But I'm starting to realize now, a lot of people did not grow up in, their home environments, or did not grow up where they were taught certain things about hygiene. And don't get me wrong, I feel like when it comes to hygiene, you're going to learn something new every single day when it comes to hygiene. And there's not necessarily, yes, there is right or wrong between hygiene, but you're going to learn something every day. Not everyone knows anything and everything when it comes to hygiene. Like, yes, of course you're going to know, but there's also something else that you can learn and know when it comes to hygiene. So a lot of people in the comments are just like, this is not giving no type A person type B. It's giving you're dirty and nasty. Okay, yes, because, right from wrong, what's clean and dirty, and what you need to be doing, what is clean and dirty. So I'm kind of just like, yeah, some of this is giving like you guys don't have good hygiene. And then some of you guys are not responsible and don't know nothing about responsibility. But again, with the responsibility thing too, not everyone was taught that too. So I just feel like when it comes to hygiene, a lot of people need to be not necessarily lenient, but just understanding and looking at it from another perspective. Like, maybe that person wasn't taught that, and maybe you can sit down with them and tell them nicely, if that makes sense. Like, you don't want to be mean about it, if that makes sense. But then some things, if people know already and they were taught that, and they're okay, that's where it's like, okay, you're dirty and you're nasty and you know better, so why are you choosing to do that? But other people that don't really, I'm looking at it from that perspective. Like, not everyone was taught how to do some certain things, and you don't know how it was for them growing up, if that makes sense, So it's like some things, like, I felt bad, and then some things I'm like, well, maybe they weren't taught, how to be responsible, how to do this, how to do that. But I just wanted to, say that, because I'm like, yeah, I know. Because I know a lot of people that are just outspoken when it comes to, like, it's dirt. And I do the same thing, don't get me wrong. I'm like, it stinks in here. But I'm not just going to randomly, like, oh, you stink. Like, no. Like, I will try to have a conversation and be nice about it. Because, when it comes to self-care and that stuff, I love doing that stuff. So that's why I share tips and stuff online instead of being mean, talking about some, no. I'm not going to do that. But one thing I will say, okay, and I'm sorry, like, I'm not trying to be mean, but when it comes to the BBL stuff, because I'm seeing this a lot too, is that people are saying, people that get those surgeries and stuff, they stink in their air walk or their air sit down, or I don't know, when they sit down, like, it stinks. Now, with that stuff, if you got, surgical and injections and all that, and, you got stuff spilling out, I don't know how that works, like blood and bacteria and stuff, you do need to keep yourself up. So that's just dirty and nasty. Or, I don't know, pay for a caretaker or giver to help you when you're healing with that. That's nasty. So then it's also making me think that some of these celebrities too, like, it's cool to meet them and stuff like that, but then it's like, how's their hygiene? I don't know. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to be mean. No, none of that. But because personally, me, I'm not getting no BBL. Like, as much as sometimes I'm like, dang it, like, maybe I want a BBL, but no, I'm working out and getting this natural body. But I'm just like, with that, I'm going to talk about that. Because you chose to lay on that table and get that, and now not have no good hygiene, or knowing that you have to keep up with your hygiene even more, because it takes a healing process. And then on top of that, depending on how large you wanted to get it, you gotta, because then in my mind too, I'm like, if I were to get that and I want something big, like, how am I gonna go back and reach back and what? Like, I don't want that, no. So I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. But I really need to stop. Okay, on to the next thing that I want to talk about. Pretty sure you guys know about, like, that TikTok, with the banning and all that. I don't know if I talked about that, but I'm just getting real sick and tired of social media. Because now they're talking about, like, you can get paid, and there's, like, what is it, creator something, and you can get paid. I tried to do it and they were like, no, because I don't have enough. But then it's like, I'm consistent and I'm consistently posting and still nothing is given. So at this point, when it comes to social media, I'm getting real sick and tired of it. Like, and then when I don't get supported and I'm like, I feel like I'm not making no progress, no none of that. I literally want to fight anyone and everyone too on top of that. Because I'm just like, I see all these views and stuff, and then you chose not to like, or you chose just to scroll past it, or I'm not getting enough views, or this isn't, I don't have a niche that they're not interested in, which I don't care. I'm sorry, but when it comes to that, honestly, when it comes to this, me doing what I want to do, I'm not taking no advice. I don't want to hear it, la, 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 because this is mine, and I'm going to do what I want. But if anyone else is feeling like that, keep going, girl. You got this. Don't feel like that, okay? And I need to take my own advice, and I am, but it's just like, still, like, this is what I mean. Like, TikTok, I don't care for it. I don't like it. No, none of that. Like, yeah, I'm using it because I got to use it for content creating. But even if I start making something off of it and speaking it into existence when I make it big, I'm still not going to like TikTok because of what I had to do to get here. And then it's like, too, like, I don't know. You got to be doing certain stuff that's like trending or people that's interested. No, why can't people be interested and open to anything and everything? Why does it have to be when people are doing the most or, showing off, like, no. I don't care. That's not me. I'm going to be myself at the end of the day. But, and another thing that I wanted to talk about is, how do I say this? How do I say this? Accountability. Take accountability. I feel like a lot of people nowadays do not take accountability. And I'm glad that I take accountability for stuff, but people just like, I just, since when did I never did. You did though. You did. Don't lie. You did. And you are or whatever. I don't know. But I just feel like nowadays, this generation, we need to take accountability for a lot of stuff, and we don't. And it's kind of a little disappointing. Like, what do you guys, like, come on now. Take accountability. And I love that I know how to humble myself and take accountability. Like, oh, yeah, I did do that. Or, like, if you're explaining it to me like you did, I'll admit it. Hey, girl, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. And especially, like, because I have, I'm good with remembering things, some things. Sometimes it depends. But if you explain it and I'm like, oh yeah, I did do it, I just feel like a lot of people aren't taking accountability, like especially when it comes to social media and looking at all this stuff. People don't know how to take accountability, like at your grown big age. Take accountability for once in your life, okay? I don't know, or maybe you got to learn it. I have no idea. But anyways, on to the next. I wanted to talk about too, with like, when you are ready for that chapter in your season of your life, when you want to have kids and stuff, like a lot of people feel like people are spoiled and stuff like that. Personally, to me, when that time comes, because I don't know, I feel like a lot too, people have been asking me about that too, like kids and stuff. I'm too selfish for kids right now. I don't want kids or none of that. The kids that I work with, those are like my kids, or really, if anything, brothers and sisters, because how they act. They really get on my nerves sometimes. Like, they'll do little stuff, and I'm like, don't we go over this stuff? Don't you know the rules? Don't you know green choices from red choices? I know you do. And then they'll laugh in my face too, and I'm like, see, that's how I know that you're doing it on purpose. Get out of my face. But actually talking that. But no, I don't want kids. I'm not ready. And then on top of that, when it comes to having kids, it's not just about being financially stable too. I've realized that it's about making sure you're emotionally and mentally prepared for that too. Making sure you're not putting on any trauma onto them, what you went through, doing all of that. And yes, finances is involved too, but you got to be mentally, emotionally, and physically prepared for that. And right now, I'm not. I'm still growing mentally and physically and financially. I'm still trying to, get to where I need to be right now. I'm sorry. Yeah, but that kid would be in a struggling situation, so I'm not even going to do that. I'm sorry. But, no, get someone else to do it, because I'm not doing that right now. I don't know when that time will come. The Lord will bless me when that time comes and will let me know, like, girl, now you can have kids. It's ready. You're ready. It's time for that. I'm not ready for that right now. And I don't want to be boggled down, like tied down with that. No. I want to go travel. And I was just talking about today how I want to do skydiving. Like, I'm not going to be able to do that because who's going to watch the kid? And my mom definitely told me, yeah, like right now you do that, girl, you're on your own. So, so no. But personally for me, because everyone's like, you got to teach your kids discipline, this and that. Oh, yeah, and I will. They will be disciplined. You will be dealt with when that time comes. But I don't want my child to be struggling. So, yes, I'm going to give them anything and everything that they want as long as they're following what they need to be doing, respectful, having good grades, doing what they're supposed to be doing. I am. So, I see a lot of people like, oh, they're spoiling this and that. Don't be mad because, what you had to go through when you were a child, didn't get spoiled. And now that someone else is able to do it, do what you need to do so you can do that too for your kid. So I'm like, no. So I just want to talk about that because I feel like, I don't know, it's like people get so jealous with that. And it's like, no, why would you want to see your kid, struggle? You went through that. So do what you need to do so your kid doesn't have to go through that. But you also can teach them where they need to have some responsibility, yes, and that they're not just spoiled little brats. You know what I'm saying? But it's like at the same time, you want to be in a position where your kid isn't struggling and experiencing what you had to experience. You get what I'm saying? So that's what I feel like too. I'm like, yeah, I'm not ready for that because I don't want them to struggle, but I'm also going to teach them responsibility. But I don't want to be in positions where I'm going to have to struggle and they have to, see that. But I want to be where I need to be so they don't have that, so they have better opportunities. And, of course, they're going to be spoiled, but responsibility will be in that mix because it's just not going to be getting anything and everything. When you're a baby, yeah, I feel like that's when you're definitely spoiled. Well, actually, at any point in any age. And then that's another thing, too, when it comes to being a parent, you're never going to stop being a parent, regardless of how old your child is. And as they grow up and they're adults, you're still a parent. Because guess what? When they're still, 20 years old or, 30 years old, they're still going to call you. They're still going to call you, ask you for advice, ask you for something, or still turn to you and go to you. I can't stand with the whole narrative, once you're 18, you could be out. What? No, that's not how that works. You are still a parent all day long for the rest of their lives and for the rest of your life. I don't know why this generation has to go through that, and it sucks that we have to experience that too. A lot of parents are no, you still are a parent all day long, regardless of how old your child is. And I even see that for the kids that I work with, I feel bad. It's kind of like, well, I'm trying to teach, my child some responsibility. They're a little kid. You're a parent. That's your job. That's what you chose to do. You get what I'm saying? So I don't particularly care for stuff like that either. I don't like that. I don't think that's okay. But just had to throw that out there. And no, because kids right now, like I said, don't be under my comments. No, it's not happening right now. Not anytime soon. Very long time from now. Years. Anyways, I had something else on my mind, and it was just I already explained to you guys about accountability and stuff like that. But I don't know, kind of back to what I was saying, being a people person and stuff like that, or feeling alone, comfort yourself and bring yourself joy in different ways so you're not feeling like that. And go to God is the best thing. When you're feeling alone and stuff like that, go find things that can comfort you so you're not feeling alone or exhausted and overwhelmed. Make sure you do that. And another thing, please make sure you have people in your circle and in your corner that are going to guide you and uplift you and help you and just be there for you when you're feeling like that or going through whatever you're going through, because that's the best thing, especially, to have people in your corner and stuff like that. And then it's another thing, I don't know what it is, but it's when I was fasting, I still haven't told you guys about that yet, but maybe I will some other time. It's just I don't know, I kind of feel like that's something personal for me, and I really enjoyed my fasting. But maybe someday I'll give you guys bits and pieces of it, but I really enjoyed it. So that's maybe why I haven't shared it, and it was personal for me, between me and God. But there was a Bible scripture, and I wish I should have screenshotted it. I saved it, but I saved so many Bible scriptures that I have so many, but it was saying somewhere we're not necessarily supposed to be to ourselves or alone like that. Of course, you're supposed to, because a lot of people tell me too, you shouldn't feel you need people. It's always supposed to be you and God. Yes, but after seeing that Bible scripture, it was we're also to be a unit and a one in a community, like as a family. So now, like when people say that, it goes in one ear out the other. I'm just like, no, because that's really not how it should be. Especially after after I read that Bible scripture, I don't know where it would be, because like I said, I have so much, but maybe in the next video I'll show it to you guys. And I don't want to necessarily say it wrong, but that's in the words of, like, in the sense of what it was saying. And so now when people say that, I'm just like, no. So when people are acting funny, weird, all of that, it's just like, you know, you're not supposed to do that, because that's supposed to be like your community, your unit, and, you know, the people that you're, you know, bonding with, all of that. So I take that stuff to heart, of course. So it's just like, you know, when it comes to communication, all that, working on things, like, you know, do that with the people that, you know, and family too, you know, whoever, anyone it is, make sure you take the time to fix that, rekindle that, do that, because at the end of the day, we're all supposed to, like, be together, be there for each other, be one, a unit, if that makes sense. So it's just like, you know, with all that, you know, and I know life will be lifing, so just try to find balances and juggle it and stuff like that, if that makes sense. Oh, that's another thing with hanging out and stuff like that. I don't like when people, because I saw this on TikTok too. It was when you have that one person that you could do anything and everything with. That's so important, because nowadays I feel like people put so many people in categories. Like, oh, like, these are the people that I'm gonna hang out with when I go, I don't know, horseback riding, and these are the only people that I can go horseback riding, because these people aren't gonna do it. You don't know that. Take the time to ask someone if they enjoy that. Stop putting people in categories. I can't stand that. Like, how do you know that? Like, that's goes back to the situation with Keys and the two other girls. Like, they were saying, like, how some certain things he doesn't like to do, but they were, you know, open to trying and doing new things with him. And it's like he still wanted to act funny. Like, see, like, no, like, but at least take the time to ask other people. Don't just, like, assume, and stop putting people in different categories. Like, I can't stand that, because I feel like I'm like that. I feel like people, like, put me in different categories that they could do things with, but I'm like, no, I'm open to doing anything and everything. But, you know, also make it 50-50, where you're open to doing anything and everything with that other person too. Like, you get what I'm saying? Because like I said, don't get me wrong, like, I love living it up and partying it up, you know, when I feel like it. But it's like, sometimes, like, you know, switch it up, do different things, but also don't put people in different categories. Like, I don't know why our generation does that, but it's like, oh, you have friends for different things in different categories. Like, how are you just gonna assume that one friend that likes to drink on the weekends or whatever doesn't want to, I don't know, take a trip with you, or they don't want to, you know, maybe go to church with you or something like that? Like, how are you, you know, just gonna assume that? You can't do that. So our generation really needs to stop doing that. We need to stop doing that, where we're categorizing, like, people or anything and everything. That's not, I don't like that. Like, why do you have to put people in? No, that doesn't make any sense. Or like, oh, they're not on the same, like, level. Like, no, you don't do that. That's not nice. So be nice. That's why I said we just need more love and peace. Okay. But anyways, this video is getting way too long. Now it's 48 seconds. 48 seconds. You know, you have 40 minutes. 40 minutes. No, I'm just playing. This is 48 minutes. But so let's wrap this up. As I always say, I appreciate all the love and the support I get. Thank you. It really means a lot. And I know I've kind of a little bit slacking off, but, you know, I'm getting there. Like I said, sometimes I slack off because I'm not feeling motivated. Like, I don't want to do this anymore, because, like I said, of how everyone perceives and how social media. But that's not the case. You know, God will make a way, and I need to stop being negative. And I do see all the support and love that I do get. And again, if anyone, you know, needs me to shout them out, any type of businesses they're doing, content creating, all that, no, I'm not expecting for you to pay me. You know, but I'm always going to support small businesses so they can level up and come up, okay? But anything, if you guys have any of that, let me know. Tell me in the comments, DM me, all of that, you know. But I appreciate all the love and the support I get. I don't know what my next video will be. But I have a lot of things going on next month. So, you know, you guys stay tuned. But yes, that's all the things I need to rant about. You know, maybe the week after that, I'll have some other ranting going on. Apologize about any noises that you heard. You know, I'm learning how to edit. I'm doing the best that I could do. I'm learning. It takes a process. Bear with me now, okay? But anyways, thank you for all the love and the support, as I always say. But tune in for next video. Love you guys.